Can you answer these questions right now? Which contracts are due for renewal next month? Which supplier agreements contain specific obligations? And where is that customer contract your sales team signed 6 months ago? If those questions are difficult to answer, we're here to help. At Surmise, one of the most common challenges we see is organizations struggling to find and manage contracts that are spread across multiple systems, folders, and inboxes. And in fact, 70% of legal teams are still using shared drives to store contracts, according to Workday. On top of that, further research from Clock shows that it takes an average of 2 hours for a legal professional to find specific language in a contract. Now imagine trying to do that across hundreds of agreements, all stored in different places. This is why contract repositories have become an incredibly important part of modern contract management. Done properly, your repository isn't just a place to store agreements, but it becomes the single source of truth for your organization's contract data. Here are 5 reasons businesses like yours are investing in contract repositories. The first reason is simple: finding contracts faster. Without a central repository, contracts end up scattered across multiple different locations, sometimes as many as 24, according to World CC and Deloitte. Every time someone needs information, that creates a delay. A contract repository gives teams one place to find agreements, organize version control, search contract metadata, and access the information they need without wasting hours hunting for documents. The second benefit is reducing risk. One of the biggest challenges in contract management is not knowing what obligations exist across your agreements. Missed renewals, overlooked notice periods, compliance requirements, and supplier commitments can all create unnecessary risk. A contract repository gives organizations like yours more visibility into what's been agreed. For example, if your internal policies change, you can be automatically alerted into where existing contracts no longer line up. Renewal dates can be synced straight to your calendar, and notice periods can trigger reminders before a deadline slips past. That means you and other business teams can stay ahead of key dates and other contractual obligations. The third benefit is making audits, reporting, and M&A activities significantly easier to manage. Whether you're responding to an internal audit, supporting a regulatory review, or preparing reporting for leadership, teams often need to quickly gather accurate information from contracts from across the business. This becomes even more critical during M&A activity. In these scenarios, organizations need fast visibility into large volumes of contracts to understand obligations, risk, liabilities, and commercial commitments across an acquired business. The fourth benefit is helping legal scale across the business. At Surmise, we regularly hear from legal teams who spend a lot of their time responding to routine requests from sales, procurement, and finance, fielding questions like, what are the payment terms in this agreement? When does this contract renew? Do we have a limitation of liability clause? With AI-powered contract repositories, users don't just search for documents, they can ask questions in natural language and get instant answers based on the contract data itself. That means key information like obligations, clauses, and renewal dates can be surfaced automatically without legal needing to manually dig through agreements. This reduces the day-to-day burden on the legal team and helps the wider business become far more self-sufficient when it comes to answering contract-related questions. The final shift is that modern contract repositories are evolving from static storage systems into intelligent business platforms thanks to embedded AI. With that AI layer on top of your repository, it's not just questions that it can help with. It means you can move from just finding contracts to understanding them at scale. That includes identifying patterns across agreements, surfacing risks and opportunities, and generating insights that support faster, more informed decision-making. The key takeaway is that a contract repository isn't just about storing contracts in one place. It's about giving your organization structured access to contract data that can be searched, understood, and acted on. The organizations getting the most value from their repositories are those that can quickly find information, stay on top of obligations, support high-stakes processes like audits and M&A, and increasingly use AI to turn contract data into actionable insight. Want to hear more from us on contract management, AI, and legal operations? Visit the Surmise website or check out the rest of our channel for more.